In the sweltering heat of a Lagos afternoon, the scent of jollof rice and suya wafted through the crowded streets of Balogun Market. Lola, a clumsy but lovable 25-year-old, and her best friend, Chucks, a thrill-seeking 27-year-old, navigated through the throngs of people, searching for inspiration and a good bargain. As they explored the market, they stumbled upon a mysterious briefcase tucked away in a dusty corner. The briefcase, made of worn black leather, was adorned with a silver buckle in the shape of a snake. Lola, a freelance photographer, and Chucks, a struggling musician, exchanged a curious glance before opening the briefcase. Inside, they found a large sum of cash, several gold chains, and a cryptic map that seemed to point to a location in the city. Unbeknownst to Lola and Chucks, they had just become the targets of Don Carlos's henchmen. Don Carlos, a notorious crime lord, had hidden the briefcase in the market, intending to retrieve it later. But when his henchmen arrived, they found that the briefcase was gone, and a trail of chaos was left in its wake. Don Carlos, whose real name was Carlos Ademela, was a complex and ruthless individual. Born into poverty, he had clawed his way to the top of Lagos's underworld through sheer force of will and cunning. But beneath his tough exterior, Don Carlos had a soft spot for his family, particularly his younger sister, who he had sworn to protect. As Lola and Chucks navigated through the chaotic streets of Lagos, they encountered a series of hilarious misadventures. They accidentally foiled a robbery, inadvertently started a street fight, and even stumbled upon a group of street performers who mistook them for rival performers. But things took a dark turn when Don Carlos's henchmen closed in on them. Lola and Chucks found themselves in a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, with their lives hanging in the balance. With their quick wit, sharp instincts, and a dash of luck, Lola and Chucks outsmarted their pursuers at every turn. They dodged bullets, leapt over obstacles, and even commandeered a downfall bus to make their escape. But just when they thought they had finally escaped, they were ambushed by Don Carlos's henchmen in a deserted alleyway. Lola was knocked unconscious, and Chucks was left to fend off their attackers alone. As Chucks fought to protect his friend, he realized that they had stumbled into something much bigger than themselves. The briefcase was just the tip of the iceberg, and Don Carlos would stop at nothing to retrieve it. With a newfound sense of determination, Chucks managed to overpower the attackers and escape with Lola. But as they emerged from the alleyway, they were met with a shocking sight, Don Carlos himself, standing in front of them with a sly smile on his face. "You two are quite the adventurers," Don Carlos said, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "But do you have what it takes to outsmart me?" Lola and Chucks exchanged a nervous glance. They knew that they had to come up with a plan, and fast, if they wanted to stay alive. With their backs against the wall, they relied on their friendship, cunning, and a healthy dose of humor to outwit Don Carlos. Lola used her photography skills to distract him, while Chucks used his musical talents to create a diversion. Together, they managed to overpower Don Carlos and his men, recovering the briefcase and its contents in the process. As they emerged victorious, Lola and Chucks couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. They had stumbled upon a mysterious briefcase, outrun a group of henchmen, and outsmarted a notorious crime lord, all in the span of a few hours. Their misadventures had brought them closer together, and they knew that their friendship could withstand even the most chaotic of situations.